let's just get started. Marieke, can I give the word over to you?
You can. Let's start with why keyword research is so very important. So your entire SEO strategy actually depends on the keywords you choose. If you're focusing on the wrong terms, if you're optimizing for the wrong terms, you'll not attract the traffic you need for your business. So you need to do this right. Next slide, guys. So everything, can you do the next slide? Everything you do needs to start with keyword research. Every successful SEO strategy starts with keyword research. But how do you do that? How do you do keyword research? We're going to answer that question. Is it just focusing on the terms that are the most popular? Well, no. Some time ago, Google does these kinds of researches every now and then. And some time ago, they announced, it's a few years ago, that Justin Bieber actually was the term that most people were searching for. Does that mean that all of you out there should be now focusing on writing content about Justin Bieber? There would be a lot of potential traffic, but attracting traffic to Yoast.com, for example, if people are searching for Justin Bieber, that does not make sense. That will not be beneficial for us. They'll just bounce back to Google immediately. So people often ask me what my favorite keyword research tool is. And then we go to the next slide. And my favorite keyword research tool is the brain. I think that people should use their brain. That's something I think people should do in general, not just in keyword research, but it's really important for keyword research as well. People should do some real thinking about who their audience is, what people are searching for, what way their website answers the questions and problems that people are having. So there are all kinds of tools out there to help you, but please don't forget the best tool you have. That's your brain. So the next slide. I think keyword research should always start as user research. Research to get to know your audience. Kind of a basic marketing thing. Who are the people that you've built your website for? Who are the people that you are writing your blog posts for? What problems do they have? What do they like? And really important, what words are they using when they're searching for things in Google? And your audience may very well use very different words from the words you're using. I remember some time ago, we were doing some consultancy for a site that was offering a lot of vacations homes. But in their texts and in their marketing, they don't not use the term vacation home or vacation rentals. They wanted to use the term vacation cottage. They thought a cottage is cute and I want to use that word. But their audience did not search for the term vacation cottage. So optimizing for that term is not the best thing to do. You should use the words your audience is using. That's essential. You could talk to your audience, maybe in real life, but also via surveys. That could be a really good idea. Check what people are searching for in your internal search engines. And of course, Semrush is a great help in that regard. We'll get into that later. You have to know what words your audience is using. So in the next slide, while you're thinking and using your brain and stuff, don't forget about search intent. Search intent is the term that we use to describe the purpose of an online search. It's the reason why someone conducts a specific search. Because everyone who searches online is hoping to find something. But are they looking for an answer to a question? Are they looking to visit a very specific website? Or are they searching because they want to buy something? So in the next slide, I'll show you 4 types of search intent. Informational, people just looking for information. They want to solve a question they have. And then navigational searches, that means that people are searching for a very specific site. People Googling Facebook are searching for, well, Facebook. And then you have transactional intent, and those are people that are looking to buy at that very moment. So I needed a gift for one of my friends I'm going to visit, and I need it now. So I'll go online, search for it, and buy it that moment. But there's also commercial investigation, and that means that people are browsing or researching. I, for instance, need a new dinner table for my new house, and I'm just investigating which one will look nice. So in the next slide, I'll show you some words that indicate what kind of search intent people have. If people use the word buy, they have a very different intent than if they look for how to. And as a website owner, as a blogger, you should make sure that your content matches the search intent of your user. So if you are optimizing for the term buy and then your product, then you should make sure that people actually go to a landing page in which they can buy your product. If you're optimizing for the term how to, make sure that people come to an informational piece of content. So you should serve something that is relevant to the search query they're actually focusing on. And of course, this is really difficult, but I think just being aware of the fact that search intent matters and is out there, that will help you to match your content with the expectation of the audience a little bit better. So next slide, please. Thinking about keywords always means thinking about head and long tail keywords. And in the next slide, I'll explain a little bit more about that. So we have those head terms, and those are really competitive. And everybody wants to rank for those. For example, vacation home France. France is a rather big country. A lot of people want to rank for this. The more specific keywords are, the more long tail they become. So vacation home south of France is much more long tail. And vacation home Côte d'Azur, which is an area in France, is even more long tail. So the more specific, the more long tail something becomes, they usually also become less competitive and easier to rank for. But the search volume also decreases. Ranking on competitive general search terms can be really hard, especially if you're a newcomer. So it's important to realize that you can't rank on those really competitive keywords out of the blue. So focusing on long tail keywords and lots of long tail keywords could be a really good strategy in order to generate traffic to your site. And let's take a closer look at that in the next slide. If you're choosing your keywords, if you choose the ones you want to be found or want to write content for, you should take into account three things. Your traffic potential, that's how often people search for a term. And the second one you should take into account is the chance to convert. If people come to your site on this specific term, how big is the chance that they will read your blog, that they will buy your stuff, that they will sign up for your newsletter? How big is the chance that they'll actually be interested? So for the search term Justin Bieber, which has a really high traffic potential, the chance to convert coming them to Yoast.com is 0. These people searching for Justin Bieber will probably not be interested in SEO news. So, and then the third thing you should take into account is your ranking potential. Just look at the top 3 results in Google. You could also look at the top 10 results. Which kind of websites are ranking there? Do they have similar authority to your websites? Are those companies or websites equally big as your company or website? Is their content really good? Could you compete with them? These 3 things are important. And next slide. So what I usually do is I take my head keywords and then come up with mid-tail keywords. So my head keyword in this case was Lego. That's really hard to rank for. And then I come up with some rather more specific things like Lego's children's set Disney, Lego Technic set, and then the very long tail, those are specific sets, which are much easier to rank for. And then in the next slide, I did some assessments. I just started assessing my chances. What amount of traffic could it have? But also, what are the chances to convert and the chances for me to start ranking in that top 3 in this case? So, and based on the scores I give myself, I decide which keywords to go after. But this is hard. First one, it's hard to come up with those long tail variants. And then it's hard to know which search terms have the highest traffic potential. And how do you know what your chances are to outrank your potential? So this is where the brain is coming to an end, and you need to have a proper tool. And this is also where my story comes to an end, and I give the word to Thijs now.
This is so fluent. Yes. So we actually do have a tool within Yoast SEO that can definitely help you with this. So when you fill out a focus key phrase within Yoast SEO, which I've highlighted here in this screenshot, for example, bird watching, if you're into that, you get a button below that field that says get related key phrases. Now, be sure to fill in the focus key phrase first, because otherwise that button won't work. And when you click that button, you actually get sent to a register or login page for Semrush. So if you register for this is free, by the way. You get 10 key phrases or 10 different, well, 10 requests basically per day. So you can actually check related key phrases for the focus key phrase that you entered 10 times a day for free, just to see what it's like and just to find out what related key phrases there actually are. And this can give you a good idea of what key phrases you might not have thought about within your process of thinking about what do I actually want to write about, and what might be nice long tail key phrases, and what might be like mid tail key phrases that I could rank for. So it could give you an overview just like this. So if you have a website about bird watching, it might actually be really nice to also write about bird watching binoculars or bird watching gifts, or areas where it's really nice to actually bird watch because a lot of special birds actually come there. So these are all really handy things to help you find some more key phrases and find some longer tail key phrases and find some different key phrases to help you get in the mindset of, I could be writing about this stuff as well, and more specific stuff, maybe some broader stuff, to help you along in this whole journey. Now, if you have Yoast SEO Premium, you can, let me just remind you of this as well. Please do make sure that you select the right country, because otherwise you'll get the wrong results. So select the right country within your modal and within this drop down to make sure that you get the results and the key phrases, related key phrases that you for the country you actually want to rank in. That's an important one, because otherwise you might be optimizing for the wrong data. And when you do that, you can actually and have done that, and you have Yoast SEO Premium as well, you can actually add this as a related key phrase right from that modal. So that'll give you a nice overview SEO analysis of that key phrase as well, to make sure that you can actually optimize your post for that key phrase, related key phrase that you've just added. But there is quite a thing that you need to be thinking about, because you do have this list of related key phrases. And how do you actually know that you'll be ranking for these key phrases? And how do you actually know that you can rank for these key phrases? Because it's hard. There's competition out there. It's pretty hard to make sure or to be sure that you can actually compete with all the other people in there. And that's actually really where Semrush comes in. So there, in this modal that you'll get, there's a link that says get more insights at Semrush. And when you go there, you go to SEMrush, and they can give you a lot more data on which key phrases might actually work for you and might be worthwhile for you to rank for. And that's also the moment that I give the word to Fernando, because he can tell you all about this SEMrush magic that they do. Fernando, over to you.
And it's definitely magic, right? We have so much data that we want to share with everyone. And this integration that we have with you guys is so amazing because you are the perfect add-on, the perfect tool for all the WordPress users all over. I was one of them. I'm still one of them. And when I heard, okay, Yoast SEMrush, I say, yes, that's the final moment. That's the right move. Because if you want to reach out to larger audiences, if you want people to find your business, your product, your services, you need to use keywords and you need to place them well. You need to write, not only thinking about Google, about any other search engine, you need to think about the user. Most of the time, don't think about anything else. Only think about the user. That's the right way to go. And in the next slides, I'm going to be presenting you how to do this keyword research, but not only staying there, going to the next step, which is topic research. So let's go with the recommended workflow. We're going to be starting identifying the audience interest. Then we're going to be analyzing their problems, trying to solve them, and we're going to see ways to find cost-effective solutions with the most interesting keywords for their main topics. Okay, let's start then. First step, let's identify the most researched topics for your keyword. We start with keyword research, as we were mentioned at the beginning, but we are not only be staying and focusing on the volume. Volume are really important because you need to know what is the demand and what is the offer, right? You need to understand how people are trying to find the product or services that you are promoting. And here you can see in my slide a few examples of, okay, we have groups of keywords and we have the volume, the trend, the keyword difficulty, and you can see that, okay, SEMrush is already gathering all these topics together, all these keywords together, and is putting them in groups, in folders, so you can use them later. In terms of, for example, brake, or for example, motor or power, let's say we are energy suppliers, we are trying to understand what other words are really interesting in our industry that people are using. So that's the first step. You need to identify not only the main keyword, but also some other related topics or related keywords that are coming good for your audience. Let's go with the next one. After that, we need to see what is the most cost-effective keyword by combining keyword difficulty and volume. So that's the very second step. First, volume, keyword by volume. Second one, we need to take a look into the keyword difficulty metric and the volume. Once we understand, okay, if the keyword that I'm trying to promote and trying to rank is more than 70 or 80 in terms of keyword difficulty. What is keyword difficulty anyway, right? Keyword difficulty means that there are a lot of competitors there in the organic results that they are trying to do the same thing as you. They want to rank for that keyword. And also means that you're going to be having a hard time for rank that specific keyword. So the higher the keyword difficulty is, the more difficult it's going to be to rank for that keyword. But again, you have a keyword and the volume is kind of low. Let's say like the first keyword that we have here, less than 1,000 visits per month. You're going to see that the effort for ranking that keyword is not comparable with the difficulty, right? Only 1,000 people per month, and the keyword difficulty is really complex to do. Maybe I need to think about other type of keyword, or go even better to the long tail keywords, because those keywords are really low with a keyword difficulty that is lower than those that we have here. So take a look at the volume and how difficult it's going to be for you from the very beginning. Let's go with the next slide. Then we need to understand the sources for targeted traffic, the brand news source. For example, if you are trying to promote your own brand, the products that you are offering, we need to understand, okay, what is happening there when people are searching by your brand name. Those are brand searches. And you need to understand what is happening if a person or user is not using at all your brand, non-brander searches. That's also really important, and you need to be aware about, okay, if people, they are aware about your brand, they're most likely to become your clients or users in the future because they are already attracted by your brand. But if they are not using your brand at all, those are new users. Those are people that, okay, you need to attract. That's something that is going to be good for your business. And here we're going to be using as well related keywords, finding variations of your main keyword. So we're going to be covering a more rough topic that we're going to be that we selected at the beginning. So that's why we need to understand how people are searching. They already know us with brand searches, or they are not aware about us, and we're going to be using, for example, related keywords, so other variations of our main keyword to understand, okay, what are the the user intent, as we were mentioning from the beginning, that is going to help us to promote our services or products better. Let's go with the next slide. So 3 steps already. Let's try with the most important one, the 4th step. We're going to be considering the most popular questions for content creation. And that's the way that we're going to be creating content, by questions. I remember a few years ago, I believe 3 or 4 years ago, during the Brighton SEO, someone from Google was mentioning that Google is not anymore a search engine. They are an questions and answer engine. So they're answering questions from users, and they're trying to give you their more relevant answer. So that's the case for doing the keyword research these days. You need to consider questions, and you need to filter all of them by people, by users that are typing on Google. In this case, let's try do the same thing on SEMrush, using the keyword magic, but right now using the filter questions, which is basically one button. You put there your question, your keyword, and that's going to be showing you the question keywords as a result. That's really important for creating content these days, because most of the people, they are just asking questions to Google. I'm going to be giving you some other hints why that is so important, creating content by using question keywords, but let's go to the next slide. So once we are working with question keywords, so what is, how to, where is, any other question-related word, we're going to be able to go for another type of result. So once you get the prominent result, once you type that, for example, why the sky is blue, you're not gonna be seeing the first result, the rank number 1, in the first page of the results, because you're gonna be having there the feature snippet, other search features, images, locations, whatever, but not the first result. That's why you need to work with question keywords. First, inside here, and first tip, work with question keywords to get feature snippets and people also as results. Here you can see that in the keyword magic tool in SEMrush, we have already identified which other search features the keywords that you're trying to rank they already have. So you have the question keyword, you have the volume, the keyword difficulty, and also what other search features this keyword is enabling, which is just fantastic in this time. Let's go for the next slide. So once we have that, we can have the second type of research, which is the topic research. We are moving right now from SEO to content creation, which is basically perfect if you want to build a content calendar. Here we have another tool inside of SEMrush that is called topic research, which is enabling all the knowledge that you already gathered from keyword research, but right now put in the head of a PR, of a copywriter, or a content creator or content editor that is trying to analyze what is the next topic that I'm going to be writing about. And if the people, the users, if the audience is going to be interested on that topic. So here you have as a cluster of ideas or of subtopics, uh, different layers of content that you can also create, not only for your headlines or for questions or other related topics, but also for the main content that you are trying to build. We're gonna be giving you here different KPIs, but the most important one, the ones are still the volume and of course the trends, the trending topics that here we call resonance. In every headline that we have here, we have a metric that is called resonance, which means how popular this content is for the users. This metric is based on the number of backlinks that each topic is receiving from other sources, that one source is receiving from other sources. So the more backlinks a topic is receiving, the most popular, I don't like this word, or viral it is. So that's very important to understand not only the volume, but the interest, the actual interest that people are having on one single topic. Okay, let's go with the next slide. And you can prioritize the topics that you want to write today, next week, or next month, because you have already a tons of ideas that are really enabling the semantic of your main topic. For example, you are writing about computer networks. You're writing about cryptocurrencies. You're writing about different bank products, mortgages. Whatever the topic it is going to be another subtopic that is working better these days. Let's say a couple of years ago, nobody was talking about gloves, right? Or masks, respiration masks. Nobody. Right now, we have 2,000% increase in all those products. 10 years ago, nobody was talking about Bitcoin. Today, everybody's into Bitcoin, right? So those topics that can become trending or popular or viral, they're gonna be identified here with that mark that is on fire. That means that topic is trending. If something is happening in your industry and you're not aware about it, you need to check how interesting this topic is gonna be for the people. Why is that? Because this is cost effective. This is just demand and an offer. How many people are going to be interested? You're going to be seeing here by the number of volume on the topic that you're selected. Let's go with the next slide. So basically, main point here, you need to analyze the audience interest for your topic. You can use the keyword magic tool, which is that. It's magic. Then you can go to unlock all those sources of traffic with branded keywords, non-branded keywords, and use the help of related keywords, which are really good. Then go and analyze the problematic around your topic, working with question keywords, how people are trying to identify where is your product, how to work with your services, and what it is about your whole company. And find cost-effective content ideas for your location. I mean, you are in Australia, you are in the US, you are in Europe, wherever you are, the interest of the people is going to be different in different periods of time. And let me show you a case. Let's go with the next slide. This is a case that I really love, which is a competitive analysis based on keyword research. So this is something that you can go right now, start working on this, and have results immediately, which is kind of very attractive, right? Let's do that. So let's go with the next slide. This is the recommended workflow. These are only 3 steps that you need to do. Right now, you can just go to your paper or just take a screenshot. First, run a keyword SWOT analysis for up to 5 keyword profiles, 5 using 5 different competitors, the keyword profiles. Then let's go and analyze the search engine results to see what is happening with this content, or what is the semantic of this content. And the last step is going to be, let's discover competitors' best performing content. And what we can do with that, so being even better than that, we can use competitors' knowledge and experience to make our content better. So it's internet, right? It's supposed to be transparent. Let's go with the next slide. So here, the thing that we are going to be doing is using the keyword gap analysis. This is also a really important feature in SEMrush. I will say this is a gold mine. What you can do here. So basically, you see all the circles that we have here. So each circle is one competitor. And you can see here that we are 3 different companies, and all the size of each circle means the amount of keywords that each company has. When you see the intersection of each circle, that means competition. That means that each company is using the same keywords for the same purpose, promotion, right? So once we're using this tool, we can add up to 5 keyword profiles, so up to 5 competitors. Here we have 3, which are very powerful. You see, one is the leader of the market here in this field. The other 2, they are using the experience that the leader of the market is having to compete with them. Let's go with the next slide. So when we're running the keyword SWOT analysis, we need to check what keywords our competitors are using and see what is the positioning that we have for the same keyword. So just for an example, here you see that with the electric timer or the rest of the products that this company has, the main company, they don't even have any of these keywords in any position. So at least in the first 10 pages, which are the 100 results page, and here you can see that the other company, which is a very popular one, they are ranking for these terms. So here you can see the terms that you're not ranking, but your competitors are ranking. Easy to do, easy to work with. Let's go with the next one. So here you can see that most of the competitors are using their own strategies for working with content, right? But one of the most interesting things here is to see, okay, how your competitors are writing about the keyword that you want to promote, that you want to rank. So don't go and don't look the second page of Google, the third page. Nobody's seeing those. Nobody, right? Yes, if you are going to the second page of Google, just let me know. But go only to the first page of result, because that's the most popular one, and that's where the people wants to be. Go there and check all the content that is written there, and just see, take the analysis. It's relevant. The user interface is good. You as a client is you are happy with the results that you're seeing. One of the interesting things that I noticed with content creators is they are not coming the second time to read their content. It's like you are an e-commerce owner, right? If you are an e-commerce owner, are you buying from your own e-commerce? Are you feeling the pain of the users when they are not they're not able to cancel the offer? So you need to try the content of your competitors. That's the way that it has to be. Go and check the first page of results. Next slide, please. Once you did that, you need to analyze the keywords of your competitors' pages, so you can build your own core, semantic core. What is the semantic core? So that's basically your main topic and different subtopics or clusters of topics that are aligned with your main topics. So let's say you are talking about banking, right? So your main topic is not banking, it's finance, because that's a major topic. Then you can go with the related subtopics, which can be the products, financial products, mortgages, credits, credit cards, and so on. But you need to go with your main topic, which is financials. You have a pet store. Your pet store is not your main topic. Your main topic is zoology or zoo or whatever is that. I'm not an expert on that, but you need to find the major topic, the highest level topic to understand what is going to be the core of your website. So here, easily you can see for each competitor how many keywords they are already ranking for each topic. Let's go with the next slide. After you're going to be doing that, you're going to be discovering what is the the best performing content for your competitors. This is inside of SEMrush as well as every single of the other slides. You can check every single landing page or every single URL inside of your competitor's domain. And you're going to be seeing there not only the traffic or the traffic percentage per page, but only the amount of keywords that they are working to promote, to rank for those URLs. So that you can see these guys, for example, Johnson Controls, they have most of their traffic, 40% of their traffic in their main page, right? That means they have 124 keywords in their main page. That's a good situation. There are some cases when websites, they have around 80% of their traffic in their main page only by 8 or 7 keywords, right? That's a really bad situation. Imagine if you're going to be losing only one keyword, losing positioning, I mean, you're going to be losing a huge amount of business if you are not working with those keywords. So that's why you need to understand that every single URL inside of your competitor's webpage is important to analyze to see what is their strategy, what is the semantic core, and what they are doing with their business, which is perfectly understandable. Let's go with the next slide. So from here, we're going to be analyzing, for example, inside of a competitor's domain, some related topics that are good for us. For example, here inside of these guys from, for example, Emerson.com, I'm analyzing the keyword or the word automation. From the hundreds of or thousands of URLs, I'm just going to be filtering those URLs where this keyword, where this word automation is established, it has been written. So what I'm doing this because I want to understand what is the amount of content that they're producing around this main keyword, and what are their topic ideas. So they're talking about the same keyword one time, 2 times, 10 times, 25,000 times, why they're doing that and how this is working for them. So you're checking the amount of URLs that includes your keyword, and you're checking the results that they're having with those keywords. Let's go with the next slide. So once you're doing that, you're going to be seeing 3 main results, which is perfectly, if you conduct a SWOT analysis with keywords, with doing the keyword analysis with your competitors, you're going to be having the knowledge about your competitors' profiles. Then you're going to be analyzing the search engine results page, and you're going to be easily building your own semantic structure using the experience and the knowledge that your competitors already have. And of course, the last one, you need to keep an eye on your competitors' best performing content. Just take a look on the pages and how much effort they are putting into ranking those pages. So basically, when you are doing keyword research, you need to think about topic research and not forgetting about competitive research as well. Basically, that's it. It was not hard, right?
Good. Well, thank you all. Thank you, Marieke and Fernando, and a bit myself for this. We do have a Q&A now, but before we go into that, we just want to highlight that we also have a Yoast SEO Academy. We have a free part of Yoast SEO Academy that everyone can just sign up for, and you can learn some great things. And there's also a keyword research part in the premium SEO Academy. So please look into that as well if you want to get a deep dive into keyword research. And the next thing is that we have an SEO news webinar on October 19th, which is in 6 days, with Yoast and Jono. So please do register for that as well. So let me just start by going through the questions that people went through. And let me just actually unfocus this a bit, so we're now bigger in the screen. Hello, everyone. Yeah, make sure your hair is all right. So the first question that got the most upvotes, which is actually an interesting one to me as well, is what do you think about zero volume keywords? Yeah, well, zero volume keywords. I can already see by Marieke's expression that she's like the keywords that don't get any volume. Shall I just do my first thought? So, well, when no one's searching for it, I don't think it's a really good idea to start writing about it, because
You'll rank number one, though.
You'll probably rank number one, but no one will know. Because no one's searching for it. So that's a hard thing, and you probably I can kind of imagine where this comes from, because people might think, okay, maybe we can create a market, but then you probably won't if you're starting out with a business. You need to be fairly big to actually.
Yeah, we're doing it. So I want to rank for SEO fitness. We're actually ranking for it, but nobody is searching for it because SEO fitness isn't really a thing yet. But I believe that with our marketing, we can make it into a thing, and everybody will start writing about SEO fitness, and then it will become a thing. So I do understand why, if you use it as a broader marketing thing and you can get something. If you had been writing about Bitcoin before it existed, that would have been a zero. That wouldn't have had any traffic before it existed, and now it does. So if you are a fortune teller, then I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
But, well, yes, actually, I have a case. 5 years ago, I was in Paris in a conference. And I received the same question, right? What to do with this zero volume keyword? So basically, if you have zero as a result, that means there is no interest, right? Or this keyword is so new that you are the only one who knows about it. You and your mother, maybe. Nobody else is searching for it. Your mission is to make this product, this keyword, more searchable, more knowable, more popular. And I remember they mentioned me the name of the keyword. 5 years has passed, right? The name of the keyword was fetal bovine serum. Have you heard this word? Nobody, right? No. But that was 5 years ago, and this fetal bovine serum was also a zero keyword. Right now, I just checked it on Semrush, and they have 12,000 searches per month. So these guys, they were scientists that were trying to see how to find the results of burn injuries on the skin with fetal bovine serum. So, and they made their whole website. They had a lot of PDFs, a lot of material. So they made this. They created a product. So if you're creating a product from zero, then you can work with this. So basically, that's the example.
People weren't searching for Yoast or Semrush before we existed either. So if you create a brand, it makes sense. But
it's not a great starting thing, I think. So unless
it's a difficult path.
Yeah, it is a difficult path, and it's always a gamble because you just don't know whether it'll stick. So yeah, but thanks for the question. That was that's
fun
a
question.
Then we'll go to the other question, which is, how well does this work for nonprofits? I'm not sure what this really means within this question, but I think you're talking about keyword research in general.
How all this thing, right?
I don't think there's much difference, except that nonprofits usually don't have a product. So you'll have a slightly different search intent, but Google doesn't make it, well, Google does. So perhaps even it's easier to rank with a site that is a non-profit. If it's a big non-profit thing, then you might have some extra authority. But I don't think, is there many, do you think there's a lot of difference, Fernando?
Oh no, definitely not. We have a client. They are the United Nations. They are definitely non-profit. They have several other departments. The UNICEF, the ones who is working with migrants all over the world. They are also doing SEO. They have an SEO department inside their building. Why is that? Because they want people found their main topics. They want to find to make able users to find what they're doing, working from different sites that belongs to them. They are not looking for any profit, but they want to make their voice more loud through SEO, which is there's no difference at all.
No.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have another question that says, how many words do you recommend a long key phrase should have and why? Long tail key phrase, sorry.
That's really hard because here it comes. The answer every SEO person gives. It
I want to hear this. Yes.
It depends on your niche and your situation. So it could be that a long tail keyword is actually just one word, but it's not a very common term. Usually it's more words because more words makes it more specific, but I can't really say how many words it should be. It all depends on your situation. And now, Fernando, you have to say something really smart.
Really smart. Well, actually, the keyword can be as long as it can get, right? For example, how to open a bank account is a long tail keyword, right? But how to open a bank account in the street San Fernando in New York, right? You have more words. And how to open a bank account in San Fernando Bank, New York, at 8 a.m. Of the morning, right? You have even a longer keyword. Depends on the situation. That's right. Depends on the situation, location, and the intent of the user. That's why it was so relevant to hear about Marieke talking about the intent. It's all about intent. How people, when people, they need. The user they have the power to do whatever they want. So we need to just make them easy to find us.
We agree.
We do agree.
Cool.
How do you avoid keyword cannibalization when you're writing on a niche topic?
I think you don't, or at least you should be really aware that it's possible that you're cannibalizing without knowing it. So I would always be really aware of that. So at Yoast, we've been doing a lot of work because we're writing about similar topics. And then you see that two things that were actually focused on something else were in fact competing with each other. So it's something that you should stay aware of. We're actually thinking about making a workout for that. So people can, we have those really cool workouts in Yoast SEO that you can just look at how your site is doing and maintaining your site, and keyword cannibalization is on our list of people helping to see whether or not they actually are cannibalizing themselves.
Yep. So it's basically a thing you need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything to add, Fernando?
Well, basically, when we faced first time years ago that we were into content cannibalization as well inside of our own topics and content that we were producing, we thought that, okay, we have the content plan, we have the keywords that we want to rank for, we just need to follow the rules. If you have a content plan, you need to go with that and work with that. I remember we made a research based on different agencies and companies that they were telling us they had a content plan, but 40% of them, they were not using the content plan. So sometimes it comes, we need to write about this, let's do it. Okay, that wasn't your content plan. You were avoiding content cannibalization, I know there are different type of situations, right? But track, monitor, do some monitoring for your keywords that are cannibalizing each other. We also in SEMrush we have the position tracking tool that is monitoring all your blog or your competitors' blog. Imagine if your competitors are cannibalizing each other, so you don't want to call them right and say, "Hey, you are cannibalizing your own result." You want to go there and see your opportunity because again, it's internet, is transparent.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was, let me just find it. How effective are location words in creating keywords? So basically, local.
Fernando is going to do this one.
So when you're thinking about, thinking about keywords and making up keywords that you want to rank for, how effective are location words? So I'm thinking geo. So maybe the name of your city or the name of your state, something like that.
Yeah, basically you're talking about local SEO.
Yeah.
When you are working with local SEO, you're basically just following the same rules, just having the perspective that you have a location, a local business, and you want to attract the most people that are around you. You need to use the other business names that are around you, the names of the streets that are around you, the location. So that is another type of SEO which is working really, really well.
Yeah, and you should also do some technical stuff. So make sure if you are trying to rank for locally, you should set up our local SEO plugin or at least your Google My Business stuff and have that all figured out, because then Google can actually see where your business is located. Yeah. And that will immediately help with ranking in the local search results.
You basically need to do both. So you need to do Google My Business and local SEO, because then they'll reinforce each other, and that's
what you want.
Yeah.
And then you have to write about local things. And then if you're located in my hometown, you'll start ranking immediately. But that all depends on where you live. Yeah, and the language, of course. So if you're in the Netherlands, it's a bit easier to rank sometimes because there is a little less competition, because there are only like 70 million people talking that language, speaking that language.
If you're trying to rank in New York, it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you approach actually using long-tail keywords within content? Would you try to use the entire phrase, or could it be broken up into smaller phrases? So within Yoast SEO, it can actually be broken up into smaller phrases, because we do actually recognize quite a lot of it. So it doesn't need to be as awkward as you might think it would be if you have a really long tail keyword. I mean, I can imagine not having the same 7 or 8 words.
Please don't do that.
that's not how we do it in Yoast SEO. That's not how we want to do it either. So there's obviously also keyword synonyms and as we've shown related keywords. So these are all things that we especially in Yoast SEO Premium have definitely optimized for, to make sure that this actually works well without breaking your content's readability, basically.
So it's just the fact you should think about, okay, I want to write something, a vacation home, Côte d'Azur, then you should use those words, but you don't need to use those words in the exact same order all over and over again, because your text will become unreadable. And Google is smarter than that. So Google, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, wasn't that smart, and then people started filling their texts with those long tail variants. That's not how you should do this anymore. Yeah.
Yes, basically one of the first rules, you need to have all your Yoast results in green. That means that you are okay with everything. That was what I was doing, and it was working very well. The other thing, once everything in Yoast is green, you need to think about, okay, this is gonna be enjoyable, but the user is gonna be okay with this piece of content, and you need to see it that way. You need to read it that way. And of course, you need to see if this content is original. You need to have metrics for that. Yoast also is helping with that. If nobody else is working with the same with the same words, so that other websites are not copy pasting the content that you have, or you didn't copy paste their own content. So keep your mind on Google results. At the other hand, keep your mind on the user.
I would, and I'm allowed to say it, I would first write something enjoyable and then get the bullets green.
Yeah, yeah.
So because it's the end user is always most important.
Yeah.
Oh, Thijs, someone is commenting on your Yoda statue. You
Oh,
can't
well,
take
it's not actually mine.
No, I know.
Oh,
Thijs
that's
is sitting in
cool
Yoast's office, and
Yeah.
it's his.
I'm in Yoast's office, and it's actually it's a Legos as well. So so no, not mine. I have I think we have time for one other question. And let me just find it. I thought you were meant to target one keyword per page. Is this not right?
No, it is right, but that doesn't mean that you. So you have one keyword, and I think that's important to do that, because then you have focus on what this article is about. But that doesn't mean that you cannot also rank for things that are slightly related to it. That makes sense, right? So and synonyms and other stuff. So I think that's really important, that you begin with focusing on one thing, and then the SEMrush tool might indicate that you're actually focusing on the wrong thing, and then you could have another that's slightly the same, but just another wording thing, and make that your primary keyword, but then add some related keywords, and that could mean that you're ranking for more than one keyword, because Google thinks you're a good result for more than one search query.
Yeah. And this might also be a good indicator of, well, you know, when once you start really getting traffic on a specific or a related key phrase, you might even think about, you know, creating a different page for that to start ranking for that specific key phrase. But, you know, I think the main thing is that you have a topic or subject of your page, and there's different ways that people can actually search for that topic, right? So yeah, I think that kind of answers it.
let's make a test. I'm gonna tell you a keyword, and you're gonna try to tell me what is my main keyword. I'm gonna tell you a phrase, and you're gonna tell me what is the main keyword. Okay?
I'm already nervous. Yes.
It's very, very easy. Yes, it's a game. It's a game. So that people can understand what exactly means working with keyword, right? So the phrase is, well, the main topic is, what is a webinar and how to create one?
There are two things. That's what is a webinar, how to create a webinar. What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Could both be.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
true. I agree.
Yes. So in one single page can be more than one keyword, right? Can be actually more than 5,000 keywords. The purpose of the page is not basically just ranking for keywords, but it's being efficient, it's solving users' problems. And in this case, we have in the title already 2 keywords. Actually, we have more than 2 keywords, because what is a webinar and how to create one, right? How to create a webinar, what is a webinar, whatever the keyword can be there, can create a tons of different related keywords. So what you were saying, one keyword for one single page, oh, that's good, but that's not how it's working. It's working like how effective and how relevant the content is for the user.
Okay. And with that, we are actually at the end of our webinar. I want to thank our speakers, Marieke and Fernando.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone for watching. Also, please be sure to follow us on our Crowdcast. You can actually do that by clicking on our logo at the top. And do not forget to subscribe for our next SEO news webinar as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Fernando, for
you
being
all.
in our webinar.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.